What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Got a really exciting unboxing video for you guys today. We have three 1 to 400 models in front of us, each a different Canadian airline: Air Canada, Porter, and WestJet. This is really exciting for my channel as I've always kind of lacked Canadian models. Nothing personal, of course, just didn't really have a huge need to have a lot of Canadian aircraft, but now that I'm kind of dipping my toes into some more fictional setups, it's given me the ability to add some more models that I've always kind of wanted, especially the Porter Airlines Q400. This aircraft is something that I actually originally wanted to get the first go around, but I unfortunately missed out on it. So thankfully there was a second release not too long ago and I picked it up. So we'll go ahead and get things started. We'll do our Q400 unboxings first. Then we'll transition to the Air Canada A220. Once we have the aircrafts unboxed, we'll take a closer look at each model and then we'll end the video from there. So let's get on into it. We'll do Porter first. So as noted, this aircraft was, I think this was not the most recent release from Gemini Jets. I've had this for a little bit now. I mean, it's still somewhat new. I think this was sometime in second half of 2024. So obviously this is a smaller aircraft, so it's tiny little baby box, but there's your literature. There's where the aircraft sits. Kind of already touched the different sides of the boxes on the Porter Q400. So I love this airplane because I always watch the Chicago Midway PTZ camera that's set up, and I always just love seeing when the Q400 comes in from Toronto City. I think they have like 3 or 4 flights a day from Toronto City to Chicago Midway, so I always get a kick out of seeing this particular airplane coming in on the camera because it is a unique plane. I mean, it's something I don't get to see in Charlotte, of course, and the Q400s are kind of dime a dozen nowadays, at least in North America, or at least in the United States rather. So this looks really, really nice, guys, and I know the camera might not be focusing, but as always, we will take a peek in a few moments. All right, guys, next up we have our WestJet Q400. You have probably seen this recently in some of my videos. I have included it in my Pinecrest International Airport, which is a Pacific Northwest fictional setup, and I usually have it go to Calgary, so this was a great excuse to buy this airplane. I will say I am on the lookout for a 737 MAX 8 from WestJet. That is 100% going to be the next WestJet aircraft that I will purchase whenever I can find one. Probably gonna have to wait till one is re-released, as it's kind of hard to find a normal price WestJet MAX 8. But for now, we will utilize the Q400. There's your literature. Aircraft is sitting nicely in there. Go to the sides of the box. I love these Q400s. These are so cool. There's the bottom. As you can see, there is your trademark and licensing information, and then it's down and below in French as well. And this was released really recently too. I know Gemini Jets has kind of been lacking a little bit. I know like some of the releases that were in 2025, they still say 24 on the box. I'm pretty sure this guy was like a January release. If not, he was like end of 2024, so it would have been like November or December type release, because I know I recently just got this one, if memory serves. I just didn't I didn't get fully back into YouTube, so I never made a video. So looks real nice. Try my best. Let's do it this way. We'll kind of get that, pop the top, get the flap off. Always tough with these little guys. And there it is, the WestJet Q400. Looks really nice, guys. I mean, you're gonna get positive feedback from me for all of these planes. I just adore how these turned out, and it's nice to finally get some Canadian model airplanes in the collection. I mean, I've had a couple Air Canada, like a CRJ 900 and Embraer 175. I just wanted some more variety for something, and now I have a great excuse to get some. Alrighty, guys, transitioning to our Air Canada A220-300. Very excited to pick this guy up. We actually are getting service on the A220 beginning in June, once daily, and I'm extremely excited for that, as we have not had mainline scheduled service. I think this is the first time we're actually getting it. There was probably like a brief period, like maybe in the 90s or something, where we may have had scheduled service. I just don't remember. But if not, it was extremely brief. And this is honestly like, again, this is like the first official time we're actually getting it, like for real. So I'm extremely stoked for this because I adore this aircraft, the 220-300. I think it's a fabulous plane. And I am extremely excited to see this in the Air Canada livery on a scheduled basis. And it would be even better if we get that retro 220. I can get some photos of that at some point. That would be really neat to get. So yeah, this guy will also be useful in my Charlotte airport. You will see him in fictional setups as well, but this will definitely be saved for whenever I have a Charlotte video. I think we're on to update 65 now would be our next one. So once you guys see CLT Airport update 65, I don't know if I'll wait that long, but you might see, that might be when the Air Canada 220 makes its debut in that video. So here it is out of the box, and as usual, we will take a closer look in the second phase of the video. But just initial thoughts, this aircraft looks awesome as expected, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys the rest of the model up next. We'll go ahead and start with our Air Canada 220-300 for the next phase of the video. Plethora of details on the nose. I'm always amazed. I've said it in a few videos, but I'm always impressed with the level of detail that can still be incorporated on these smaller scale model airplanes, and they still look really well. Next, you'll see your Star Alliance logo is present. The Air Canada titles look really nice, along with the maple leaf logo. Going on to the center portion of the aircraft, there's a little bit of engine tilt from my eye level. It might be a little bit harder to see because I have the camera just propped up a little bit on an angle, but there is a wee bit of engine tilt. It's not terrible. I'm not complaining about it. It's just something I do want to note. I don't know if that is something that has been on the 220 models. I don't actually, this is the only 220 model I have other than my Breeze. So interior portion of the wingtip is showcasing the Air Canada logo. Not sure how we will focus much on the exterior part, but it is blacked out. Going towards the tail of the aircraft, again, as noted, antennas from front to back, TV satellite box is present, or Wi-Fi box, whichever one. Registration of the aircraft, Airbus A220-300. And then the tail section is well detailed with the Air Canada tail logo and beautiful coloring. Next up, we have our WestJet Q400. This was a really cool one to pick up, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, because I absolutely adore the new livery from WestJet. I did like their old one, but I just like the modern touch to this one. It looks phenomenal. You'll note on the front of the aircraft, details are still really good on this even smaller aircraft that you're seeing. The Canadian flag, you have the WestJet titles that look nice and painted, very refined. Something I would note is, I don't know if I just had a bad luck on this particular WestJet Q400, but the propeller looks kind of wonky. Like, I haven't messed with it anything, like, but I'm also at the same time, it's like I'm scared to, like, I don't want to like poke it and break it off, but it is definitely a little bit, something's going on there, you know what I mean? I'm not mad at all. I'm just you can tell it's a little bit little janky, but it's all good. Anyways, we'll go ahead, and this does have a little bit of a tilt, a little tipping action, but I think it kind of depends on the mat, because some areas of the table are a little bit sloped, just the slightest, where it's probably throwing it back as well. But also on the engines on the backside where the propeller is, I love the green tips. I forgot that was featured on this aircraft. It looks really nice. All the doors are painted nicely. You can see where they load the bags up in the very back, right beside where that registration of the aircraft is. Coloring looks amazing. You can even see the intricate details on the tail section of the aircraft. It was painted so well. It looks so nice, and I love it so much. And I was very happy that this worked out, and I was able to get one of these guys. Alrighty, last but not least, we have our Porter Q400. And this was, again, as noted at the beginning of the video, was so glad to pick this guy up finally, because I was always kicking myself for not getting him on the first go around. So I'm glad I just bit the bullet and bought it right when it was available for pre-order, because I knew I wanted it. So here it is. Here's the Q400. Details, again, as expected with our 1-400 ones from the previous ones. Everything looks really nice. The models that I've been getting lately have been just phenomenal. I just really don't have anything to complain about. And I love being positive when I can, but I also like being critical when I can. And honestly, and just based on this stuff, how I've been trying to analyze these models, I really don't have any negative feedback that is, that would turn you away from wanting to pick up one of these models. If it's something that you're able to get and you're interested in it, I think you have a great product from at least what I'm seeing, and I would highly recommend it. Going towards the backside of the aircraft, similar to the Q400 on the WestJet, of course, everything is painted similarly. It's the same type of plane. There's not really, other than delivery wise, everything is going to be identical for the most part. Everything looks really nice. Again, I always try to be a little bit more critical, or not necessarily critical, but I like focusing more on the paint, right? You don't want to see anything smearing together. You want everything to blend nicely, things of that nature, right? So everything that I'm seeing is just flawless, right? I mean, unless I'm missing something, I think these turned out really well. So, alrighty guys, I want to thank you guys again for stopping by and taking a look at this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.